The world is holding its breath today as the President of the United States delivered a shocking announcement. In a live address from the White House, the President declared that the United States has officially declared war on China. The news sent immediate shockwaves through global financial markets, with stock indices plummeting and currencies fluctuating wildly. Across America, citizens and business communities are in a state of disbelief and concern, trying to grasp what this decision could mean for their daily lives. In Washington, the National Security Council has convened emergency meetings, and military bases have been placed on high alert. Air Force jets are scrambling from bases nationwide, naval fleets are repositioning in the Pacific, and missile defense systems are fully operational. Meanwhile, in Beijing, officials have called emergency sessions, military movements are being intensified, and the public is tense. World leaders are reviewing policies and engaging in urgent diplomatic communications to prevent escalation. Social media platforms are flooded with speculation, rumors, and expert analysis, while news outlets report updates around the clock. Analysts warn that this unprecedented step could have long-term consequences, reshaping global alliances and international relations. Ordinary citizens are watching the news anxiously, trying to understand the possible risks to their safety and economy. Today's announcement has sparked global concern, leaving everyone's eyes focused on Washington and Beijing as the situation continues to unfold. Military installations across both the United States and China have been fully mobilized. Aircraft carriers and fighter jets are positioned strategically across the Pacific and other key regions. Emergency sessions of the U.S. Congress have authorized wartime measures, including rapid mobilization of the National Guard and additional funding for defense operations. Cybersecurity teams are working to strengthen networks, protecting critical infrastructure, energy grids, financial systems, and communications from potential attacks. Citizens across major cities are preparing emergency supplies and evacuation plans as uncertainty spreads. On the diplomatic front, global powers are engaging in high-stakes discussions to mediate tensions and prevent escalation. In China, military academies are conducting drills, factories are ramping up production, and intelligence agencies are monitoring U.S. military movements closely. Both governments are balancing the need to calm domestic populations while demonstrating strength on the world stage. Experts warn that the early days of this conflict will be critical, and even minor actions could significantly escalate the situation. Global attention is focused on every military and diplomatic move, as both superpowers remain in a tense standoff, with the world waiting anxiously for what happens next. Early reports today indicate a skirmish in contested waters, triggering high alert across military command centers in both nations. The U.S. claims the action was defensive, protecting shipping lanes and national interests, while China has described the same incident as aggressive. Media outlets are broadcasting images of damaged vessels, burnt equipment, and injured personnel, fueling public concern and anger. Simultaneously, cyberattacks have targeted critical infrastructure, causing power outages, communication disruptions, and financial instability. Satellite imagery shows troop movements and naval maneuvers, while intelligence reports indicate covert operations are underway on both sides. In a public address, the U.S. President emphasized that the first strike was necessary to safeguard national security and uphold international order. In Beijing, leaders convened emergency meetings to prepare retaliatory strategies and ensure rapid deployment readiness. Citizens are grappling with the reality that this conflict has moved from political rhetoric to an immediate threat. Families anxiously await news of loved ones, and international observers are calling for calm and restraint. The economic impact is being felt worldwide, with trade disrupted and stock markets in turmoil. The situation today underscores how quickly tension can escalate, leaving the world on edge as it watches the unfolding events that could reshape global geopolitics. Intelligence, espionage, and covert operations have now become central to the ongoing conflict. Special forces are conducting operations in sensitive regions, aiming to sabotage key infrastructure and gather critical intelligence. Cyber warfare continues to intensify, targeting defense networks, communication satellites, and financial systems. Propaganda campaigns are influencing public opinion and morale, while governments attempt to control the narrative. Behind the scenes, secret diplomatic channels are working to prevent further escalation, but decades of mistrust make negotiations extremely challenging. Internally, Both countries are facing political opposition and civil unrest, as citizens question the morality and necessity of the war. Frontline soldiers face high-tech weaponry, unpredictable conditions, and dangerous missions, while families anxiously monitor news updates. Global observers and organizations are attempting mediation, balancing the need for peace with the urgency of preventing total escalation. Every day brings new developments: intelligence breakthroughs, tactical setbacks, cyber intrusions, and political maneuvers. Ordinary citizens are now navigating life amid fear, uncertainty, and disruption. The conflict demonstrates that modern warfare extends beyond the battlefield, encompassing technology, information, and psychological strategies. Both superpowers are engaged in a high-stakes game, where every move carries consequences far beyond immediate military outcomes. The world waits with bated breath for the next critical decision that could redefine history. As the war escalates, its global impact is becoming increasingly apparent. Markets around the world are reeling under uncertainty, supply chains are disrupted, and industries are struggling to adapt. Refugees are fleeing conflict zones, creating urgent humanitarian crises, while distant nations reassess their security and economic policies to avoid being drawn into the conflict. Media outlets provide continuous live updates, shaping public perception and influencing international decisions. High-level negotiations are ongoing, but years of mistrust complicate every effort to mediate. Civilians face power shortages, scarcity of essential goods, and the psychological toll of living under the shadow of global conflict. Behind the scenes, world leaders are making critical decisions on sanctions, targeted strikes, and strategic alliances, aware that each choice could reshape global history. Cyber warfare and intelligence operations have reached unprecedented levels of sophistication, demonstrating how intertwined modern societies have become. By today, the world has already changed. Some nations emerge stronger, others weakened, and ordinary citizens everywhere are reminded that a war between superpowers does not respect borders, it affects everyone. Amid uncertainty, human resilience, ingenuity, and the will to survive are coming to the forefront. Temporary ceasefires may appear, but the global balance remains precarious. Today's events serve as a stark reminder that peace is fragile, power is unpredictable, and the consequences of war are far greater than any announcement could ever convey.